Hey everyone, welcome back to Ned Plays Chrono Trigger. This will actually be the last video of this series. I'm going to complete it in this video. We're going to be taking on Lavos and doing all the credits and all that. But first, to make it kind of a full completion, there's just one little, not side quest, but there's an accessory you can get for Frog that unlocks a triple tech between these three characters that I wanted to get. I always thought this one was funny because this one, there is no clue or hint of how you would get this. It starts off by going back to the Middle Ages, and this is the thing: Frog has to be the leader in this group, and has to have the powered up Masamune for this to work. And it's just gonna be real quick. It's just kind of like a little side thing, and I actually just remembered it before this. I started recording this video, and I kind of wanted to, like I said, do a full completion. And you can't skip these fights, so. Now, I guess while I am doing these fights, I did want to mention in the comment area in the description of my video, I'm gonna put up a little poll there. It's basically asking which game you want me to do next. Now, I already picked like I said, I already picked the game that I want to do next, and it is one of the ones on the list that's there. But I just kind of want to see what everyone does, because I'm also use this for future reference as well. And hey, if enough people choose a game that I didn't pick, I might even start that one instead. But it's going to be in the links. From what I understand, you don't have to have a Google account or anything like that to vote or anything like that. But if you could just take a second and vote, I would really appreciate it. And only vote once so I can get an accurate thing, because you can refresh and keep voting for different ones. But I really would appreciate it if you just vote one time. Now, this is where it takes place. You gotta have, like I said, you gotta have Glenn as your leader, and you gotta let that guy on the left side throw a rock at you and hit Glenn, and look what happens. I await thee, freelancer. It starts glowing in Glenn's hand. You get the gold rock. A changed frog art I. Totally random, and it is also one of the weaker triple techs, because it's kind of like frog splash. The lower his life is, the more damage will be. So at level, if you're at full life, it's going to do close to nothing damage wise. And I'm not sure if it's like all the characters have to be low life, or if it's just Frog, but I never really tested it out. Because like I said, it's such a gimmicky triple tech, and it's so dangerous to use to get the benefit out of it. Like, you're going to see it right here, because I have to fight these guys. You can't get away from them. But it's going to hit these guys for like maybe 1-2 points of damage. Yeah, that's it. Now, if Glenn was to have like 1 HP, that would do a ton of damage, like the frog squash would do. But like I said, it's such a weird. To get that rock, there was no hint. No one ever gives you a hint to come back here to come do that. There's actually no reason to come back here after you get the broken blade here, other than get to that accessory. So like I said, I just kind of wanted to show you all that weird, quirky accessory that you could get. Like I said, it's just totally random. And the reason why I found it out was I read it somewhere on like a walkthrough site. And let me just get out of here. Then we're gonna head back to the end of time. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but this is going to be a long video, but if I did, oh well. Disembark. And now the team that I like to use is Chrono, Luca, and Robo. Chrono, he does great both physical attacks and magical attacks. Luca is great for for magical attacks. And Robo is a great healer in physical attacks. Kind of like rounds it off well. There you go. Now let me make sure everyone's gold stud, prism. Looks like we're good to go. And then I like taking this bucket here, because if you take the epic to face Lavos, it actually destroys the epic during the fight. So I like to kind of preserve it and go through here. That gate leads to 1999 AD. It leads to the Day of Lavos. Go there only if you're looking to achieve a shorter lifespan. Lavos will help you leave this mortal coil. And you're going to go ahead and hit yes. Now since we already defeated Lavos, it's going to be just that empty shell that you saw the first time. Actually, I think the character section says, "Did we do this? Are we really going on?" If you say run away from now, it just lets you go back to the portal. Ours was a short youth. Let us go. Now, if you haven't defeated Lavos through the Black Omen, you would actually face him like you did in the Black Omen. Did we do that? Yeah, I thought so. One of them says that. I sense a powerful life force within Lavos. I guess we have no choice, but... And you can actually walk around him if you wanted to, but there's nothing... You're not going to find anything. We're okay, right? According to my sensors, we're close to the center. Now you can save if you wanted to, and this just leads you back to the end of time through the bucket. This is the real thing. Amazing. It houses all the DNA of every creature that ever lived. Now what you want to focus on is have the Chrono and Robo work on the right arm, because that's what defends the rest of the body. And it's only weak to physical attacks. Actually, I remember magic attacks does about the same amount of damage. But it's not until you get rid of the right arm that you're able to damage the main part of the body. She attacked the left one. Now what that does is, like for instance, hitting Chrono with that. Now that the item that protects my status, like from chaos and poison, that's been removed for this fight. So he's probably going to cast a Confuse now. And it has a chance to confuse Chrono like normal. And that's probably going to confuse Chrono. Yep. Then you just keep using the Confuse, Robo's Uzi Punch, and Luca have Flare. But I'm actually going to use Luca to heal people. Remember, you always want to keep Robo's last digit at 9 to get the most damage out of his Crisis Arm. Now I understand. It lives on a planet for as long as possible, stealing away the most vital resources. It combined the DNA it found here with its own and gave birth to those creatures up on Death Peak. Eventually the young must migrate to other planets to repeat the cycle. Grown like farm animals, waiting to be slaughtered. All of our history, our art and science, all to meet the needs of that beast. Attack value is off the scale. It's shorting out my sensors. Impossible. You can't expect to toy with an entire world and get away with it. Human hands created me, which means I am a product of that thing. I am no different than Luca and the others. I am a part of all living things. Now this is actually another trick from Lavos. He wants you to believe that the center part is the main core. It's actually the right pod on the right side that's actually Lavos. You could destroy the middle and the left one and he'll still be alive. But if you destroy the right side, all of them will die. And the thing is, you could destroy the two left ones, the left one and the middle one, and the right bit can revive both of them. That's why he was trying to trick you to not attack him. And what I'm doing, of course, is just concentrating on the core that matters, while his defense is down. And when the bit revives, he usually puts his defense back on. Chrono. Chrono. Chrono! It's time to rise and shine. We have a little surprise for you. Your stay of execution has been cancelled. We must now carry out your sentence. We've been looking for you, Chrono. Where did you take my daughter? Daddy, don't! Chrono hasn't done a thing. She says Chrono has been a perfect gentleman, but... What do you think, Chancellor? Chrono's deeds have an enormous impact on the kingdom. Chancellor, how could you? Please, just listen to me. We had to... Save the future, right? Huh? You saved the future and gave us hope. You fought Magus' troops and brought peace to the kingdom in the year 600. Chrono beat Reptites. What's going on here? Luca, you brought them here, didn't you? Our kinsman told me all about your incredible mission. Kinsmen? You mean these are my ancestors and descendants? Here I was fussing about my kingdom and my daughter, and you were saving the past, present, and future. Now for a true victory parade. Tonight we celebrate you. Now Marley, go out and enjoy the last night of the fair. Come along with Chrono, our hero. Princess Nadia is finally home. At last, Guardia is back to normal. It's a moonlight parade. You can see Chrono's mom there with Luca's mom and dad down there drinking. And there's Melchior. And you can walk around and talk to some of the... Now, if you didn't save Luca's mom from the accident, she'll actually just be sitting on the water fountain. Yum, lemonade sure tastes great outdoors. Chrono, have a sip. You're the hero today. Honey, don't be a sack of potatoes. Dance with me. Chrono, the king says you save the future. Wait till I tell my friends. And Chrono's mom. You saved us all? That's nice, dear, but I wish you spent more time around the house. It's a real problem when the person who's in charge of the cat is gone. The princess is gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, of course, you are too. This is fantastic. Not much business in the weapons anymore, but I like it that way. And Luca's going back up there. All the places are kind of already blocked off, so you can't really venture out, and you can't leave the parade. You can't. It's blocked off too, or it just doesn't let you go out. Well, everyone, this is it. Each to thine time. The gate has grown weak. We've got to say your goodbyes before the gate closes. You're all leaving? Chrono is strong. Marley too. Isla have fun. You're my distant ancestor, so you better have tough kids or I'll be in trouble. No worry, Isla very strong. Right. Hey, what do you mean by that? Kino dummy, we go now. Tis a feisty crowd, but they are thine kin, and tis of consequence. Queen Lenia waits. Your Majesty, we too shall take our leave. Mr. Glenn? Long farewells ne'er were necessary. Right, besides, actions speak louder than words. Yeah, don't these things end with the princess kissing the frog? So, you're going to search for Shala? Luca, I will miss you. What's wrong, Luca? Aren't you going to say goodbye to Robo? She knows. Knows what? Robo was born in a bleak future. When we defeated Lavos, we changed history. Robo may not exist in the future. Please relax. The new future has a place for me. Darn it, Robo, don't pretend you don't care when you're really sad. It just makes things worse. Luca, you have taught me these emotions. Thank you. Tears don't become you, Luca. Robo will be there in the new future. Goodbye. Caution, oil has washed over sight sensors. Sight diminished. Do you remember that talk we had? You mean about whether our lives flash before we die? Yeah. I get the feeling that the entity is finally at rest. Yeah, I feel that too. Time travel, how exhausting. We should dismantle the Epic. Its job is finished. You naughty thing, come back here! Look, Chrono, your cat's running away because you haven't been feeding it. Hey, come back here! Oh great, Chrono, that gate would never open again. Well, it looks like we have no other choice but to go after them. Go after them, but the gates... Luca, don't turn off your brain yet. I forgot we have a time machine. Oh, Princess, the king asked for your presents. I'm so happy. Now there's no reason for you to go anywhere anymore. Go away anymore. I have a gift for you to commemorate this day, Princess Nadia. This is Nadia's bell. It will ring out across the land. Marley, where did you go? Can someone please lend me a hand? Daddy, I hate to say this, but I can't sit around doing nothing. Whew, made it just in time. Shall I fire one off? No, Tevin. Actually, I could really use your help. And if you stick around for the credits, you could actually see how everyone is doing in their time periods. And if you skip or if you just wait through the credits or just skip ahead, I'll show you what happens afterwards. But I'll just let the credits play for now. And those are the credits. The screen never goes away or anything. It just stays like this no matter what you're pressing. Like I'm pressing all the buttons right now. You back in the Super Nintendo days, you just have to reset it. And let me see here. Now, after you beat it, you notice at the top it says New Game and New Game Plus. And what you do is you select New Game Plus, and it doesn't matter which data you're using. Let's use the latest and greatest, which is this one. That's fine. I'm just going to show you just real quick what the difference is. And this is the biggest difference between New Game and New Game Plus. In New Game Plus, you keep your same level, your card stats, and all of your equipment. So I have the Rainbow Sword, Prism Helm, Moon Armor, and the Power Shades. And that goes for everyone. The only thing you don't keep from the original game that the data you selected was you don't keep your cash from the previous thing. Now, how I always got around doing that was before I started a New Game Plus, I would go to this data and buy a bunch of items, and of course to take away some of the key items that progress the story along the way, but you get those as you play along. But what I would do is I buy 99 of an expensive sword, and then when I started a new game, I would sell it back to a merchant. You lose out on a little bit of money, but at least you have something. Because right now, if you see what I have, I only have 400 gold compared to the few 100,000 that I had in the last game. Now, they do this because depending on what part of the story you're at, and you defeat Lavos during certain story peaks, you do get a different ending. I think there's about 12 to 15 different endings for this game. Now that would have been impossible through the first playthrough because you were too weak at the time. Like for instance, you could actually fight Lavos at Luca's Invention right now, but you have to go through the whole story, which I'm not going to do that right now. It's still blocked off. You can actually fight Lavos before you even go back to the Middle Ages, and that gives you a different ending than we just saw. The ending that we saw was the kind of the generic ending, and like if I bump it to Marley, does the same thing. Like I said, nothing really changed. Nothing changes story-wise. You just have the equipment to beat Lavos whenever you want to. You have all your texts, your spells. It's actually kind of fun going through all the old bosses you had trouble with and just totally owning their face in a fight. And like for instance, I'm gonna give Marley all of her stuff. And same thing, she has all of her strongest items. I'll just give her this, whatever, gold stud. And she has all of her techs, both of them do. And like I said, they just do this so you can experience I played this game. Actually, I remember I said I had a story in my first video, if anyone actually remembers. I played this game on the Super Nintendo. Honestly, the whole game through 30 to 40 times. I kid you not on that number. I did play that time. Everyone was level 99. Best weapons. Everyone was maxed out. I had actually stacks of power tabs, magic tabs, and speed tabs because I couldn't max them out anymore. And then one day, I don't know how it happened, but totally by accident, I accidentally saved just a new game over my main data. totally wiping out a year and a half to 2 years worth of work, just totally gone. And this is actually the first time I picked it up since then and played it over again. But yeah, I remember when I I hit save and I realized what I did when I was in, this had to be like in middle school. And just the gut-wrenching feeling that just, oh man, just thinking about it still hurts. But yeah, I just wanted to share the little info. But this concludes Chrono Trigger, guys. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time. And like I said, don't forget to vote on which game that you want to see possibly next time or in the future. But until then, peace out, and I'll see y'all later.